Yo, what up, man? Chris, somebody checking in, man, back with the blog, man. Make sure that like button, that subscribe button, and I appreciate all the support. Salute, man. Hump Day Wednesday. Hope you guys is having a good week, man. I appreciate everybody watching the blogs. As I always say, make sure you hit that like button and that subscribe button. I want to talk about this Goodz interview and that he did on Uppercut Podcast. Salute the Uppercut Podcast, doing good numbers on this interview. But I want to talk about this interview because he did an interview about Jay Mills, and I just felt like he's had a lot of time to reflect on everything with Jay Mills. And let me give you me and Goodz history. Like, Goodz is someone that I spoke to when I got out of jail. He was in my redemption blog. Him, Sway, Jazz the Rapper, Mickey Fax. Those were the 4 people that was in there. At the time, that was a really big deal for me. I needed like people to stamp me, people to be like, we still rock with Chris. I had conversations with Goodz, and he was just like, yo, I don't really believe a lot of the, this stuff or whatever. I'm not saying I don't really know what happened, but it don't seem like it's in your character for what you was charged with. So we had interesting, a little conversation when I first got out, and it was good that he supported me, and I really appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? That's why you don't really see me ever really say anything bad about Goodz for the most part. And it's really not been much to say bad about him either way. Like, I didn't think he'd be easy to block captain. I said he lost that battle, but he had a good Geechee battle, he had a good Calico battle, all that kind of stuff. So we were kind of I haven't spoken to him in a minute. But when I first got into battle rap, when I was starting out as a blogger in Atlanta way back in the day, I put Goodz on an overrated list. It was a top 5 most overrated battlers. I had Goodz, Cortez, a bunch of other people. And then I met Goodz. I went to a battle rap event and I met Goodz, and he wasn't in his feelings. We kind of talked about it. Back then, people weren't really too much in their feeling, kind of wanted explanations on why you put them on the list. Like, yo, explain to me why you think I'm overrated. It was that kind of stuff. And from there, we built a rapport. We were kind of cool. He was like my second or third Untold Truth. Arsenal was the first. I don't know who the second was, but he was kind of early on. So I got a chance to hang around him for a few days. Me and him went to some seafood restaurant where Daylight and Rex and all them niggas was at. And then we went to eat somewhere else with like one of his cameramen to be doing a lot of the ciphers and stuff, like I think King Clive or something like that. I could have his name wrong. So I'm around Goodz a couple days now. And I'm like, okay, Goodz is someone who kind of lives how he raps. He's doing really well, got a nice little whip, stuff like that. We hanging out, Goodz just seemed like he just had an aura about him. Like, the stuff he rap about is what he is, he's about. So that always resonated, because every time I did Untold Truths with people, I would always hang around a lot of battlers, and I'm just like, they not doing better than me. And these are like some of our stars, our heroes, people we really liked. And I was just like, man, these niggas really kind of like struggling or whatever. But Goodz was someone that was doing well. So me and Goodz built a rapport. And like I said, I got out of jail. I don't really know who reached out to who. I don't know what happened. I might have hit him up or something. I don't really know. Maybe he hit me up to ask me, was I okay? I'm not quite sure how we connected, but he was in my redemption blog, which was a big deal at the time. You know what I'm saying? Definitely something I needed. So I always was appreciative of that. This Jay Mills situation, I'm still Chris Unbiased, bro. I'm gonna keep it real. You lost a battle. I say he lost to Easy the Block Captain. I thought he lost. And but this particular thing with Jay Mills, I think, has been damaging the Goodz. And I talk a lot about media training, how you handle certain interviews, how you handle certain things. There's a way for you to lose, but still lose gracefully. There's a way for you to not be at your best, but still be apologetic. There's a way for you to just, sometimes you can be kind of down, or the culture can be down, and in an interview people can look at you differently. And a lot of it is people gotta just feel your honesty, and you gotta be transparent with stuff. That's why I get on this camera and sometimes I tell y'all certain things. I don't really have no problem talking about how I might have felt when I was in jail, or how I felt when I got out, or anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have no problem telling that. So I've done a lot, turned my life around, started making some really good money, but I'm still bothered by the fact that I put my family through that for 25 months. spent a lot of money, all kind of stuff. You know, yeah, I got free and living my life, but at the same time, it's a stain. You know what I'm saying? I don't know anybody in my family that was ever even, I ain't gonna really say that, but you know, I was about to say I don't know anybody in my family that had a felony before, but that's not really true. So let me retract that. But at the end of the day, through a lot of transparency, you win people back. And I think one of the reasons why people fuck with me, despite what I went through, is people either don't believe what happened, or they give me the benefit of the doubt, or at the end of the day, they just like, yo, Chris just seems like a genuine guy. Goodz, to me, this J Mill situation has been very, I feel like it's hurt Goodz a lot. I don't think he's realized how much it hurt him, but it has hurt him a lot. And I don't think he's looking at it from the right lens. I'm gonna go over this interview and I'm gonna stop, but I'm gonna tell you certain things. So we gonna let's go. This interview is 14 minutes long. I ain't gonna play the whole thing, but I'm gonna play a good part. So start.
Would you ever battle Mills on like a stage? Yeah. Why? I think Mills is better at what he's doing. Like I think he's better at. I really want to talk about this. Yeah, I think he's better at just doing the music battles, and that's it. Because Mills on stage before the music battles, nobody was thinking about him. They didn't like him on stage at all. So you got to find your niche. His niche right now is the music battle. So I think he need to stick to that. Other than that, is over. But he.
Let me just say this. I knew Goodz would not battle Mills. He would think Mills was, you know, not worthy of a battle. I actually thought he should battle Mills. I thought, one, it's your get back, it's your lick back or whatever. I do think he would beat Mills in a battle. I do think Mills has a better chance than what Goodz thinks of winning, and I think Mills could translate a little bit better than just the music part. I think he might be able to figure some things out and actually do better than you think. I don't know if it's enough to win 2 rounds, but at the same time, I think it would be a more interesting battle than what Goodz thinks. That's one thing that I think. And who else would you really battle? You know, you mess around and battle an up and comer, he could clip you. Even though Goodz is pretty good at giving people a shot. Adi Boom, T-Top when he was coming up, you know, different people. But if you battle like a Kid Slade could beat you. You know what I'm saying? It's very possible. I would favor him if he battled Swamp. I would favor Goodz. But when I look at that, I'm just like, those battles are cool. You know what I'm saying? I don't even think those are bad battles. Like, I would like to see those battles. But I don't know if URL would really book him for that. But I feel like the Mills battle is a battle that I would take. I know he talked about battling Twerk. I definitely wouldn't take that battle if I was him, and I would not set that up. So I think you battling Mills is, 1, you'll probably get a decent paycheck. 2, you can get your lick back. And 3, it kind of closes the chapter on the you and Mills situation. He won on beat, you won on the stage. It is what it is. It panned out how we expected, and it move on. So I don't really think he should not entertain the battle. I understand why it's not high on the list, but to just completely nix it is like no way, no how. Even if it was just a full circle, like let me just do some 2-minute round shit, full circle, I wouldn't completely close the door. That's just my thing.
That kind of something off your name, though. Right. Off you and like that thing. Right. But in my eyes, yo, do you think he put like a little chinks in your armor? Like a little chink in your armor? Because you never had that, bro. I never seen you kind of like, I felt like you was following his lead. Like, you know, the black glove, and then you had the white glove, right? So I did that in one joint. It was a metaphor. No, I get it. But I felt like he kind of put you in a place where I'm like, I never seen you like kind of.
Oh, come on with the commercial. Here we go. Hold on.
You know, in that position, bro. What position? Where niggas hate me and they nah, like, yo, you was always on top, but now I felt like he kind of like you, like
went to this thing.
But you're not explaining. You gotta explain what you're saying. What position did he put me in? Where am I not on?
Tiger might have not explained it perfectly in this situation, but this is an excellent question. Jay Mills did put a chink in Goodz' armor. Goodz became defensive. He became unsure. He was like, oh, I didn't really plan on getting into it, but then I got into it, and, you know, it was a lot of hard work, and we were, like, shooting videos at 2 in the morning. He had you working, bro. Working to kind of, you know, get your lick back or whatever in these diss tracks. So it did provide a chink. Obviously the shoe situation was the Madden thing. It just looked bad. You got shoes that look like Madden shoes, are basically the same design, just a little bit of difference. They're way more expensive. I don't feel like that situation has really been explained well, so therefore it's gonna always look bad in that situation. And I just feel like just talking to you crazy is something that we don't see. Like, nigga getting in a blog calling you sassy and this, and you a B and a this. Nobody really ever talked to Goodz that way. Yeah, in a battle they would, but nobody did a blog like, yo, man, Goodz is just a BAN, or like, nobody really like kind of talk reckless to Goodz in blogs, unless it was just on some funny stuff with like him and Surf outside talking trash. But it was never like on nobody got in a blog and just called Goodz out his name all crazy. And I felt like Mills was getting that off like it wasn't nothing. And I know they miles away, and, you know, what can Goodz do when a nigga live all the way in you know, different coasts and everything. But fans was rocking with it. And it's just not some fans just hate me thing. It's not that, bro. Nobody really liked Mills. Nobody was recapping his battles. Nobody was talking about anything he had going on. He wasn't really winning battles. He seemed to be a cool guy or whatever, you know what I'm saying, that wanted to learn more and different stuff. Obviously, he was a pioneer and a legend for everything that he did prior to, you know, the DVD era and all that, but nobody was really checking for him on the stage like that. If he came back, it was like good nostalgia, but nobody was like, oh man, I can't wait for the next Mills battle. So this notion that people just want me to lose, it's just like, so people just wanted Mills to win. Nobody was really thinking Mills would win anything versus you and DNA. So I just think that that's just not, to label it as just like, oh, well, he didn't really put a chink in my armor, niggas was just hating. It's just, once again, not being, to me, honest. It's just not being honest about the situation. And for everything you do and shooting videos and doing all that, you did a lot to prove yourself to what you consider to be a nobody. You did a lot. You shot like, I mean, how many tracks he did versus Mills? He did way more tracks versus Mills than Mills did versus him. All for someone who's a nobody. So it had to be something that was getting to you at some point in time, bro. And then you look up and it's just like, you and DNA don't really do the podcast too much no more. It was kind of going strong. And you bring Henny Man on, and he might do some shows here and there. And it's like, you don't really blog like that. You didn't blog for a couple months, and you can be like, oh, well, nothing to talk about. It's always something to talk about. You sometimes talk about the drama and the this and the that. You weren't even really chiming in on certain topics. And it's just like, you normally probably would have talked about diss tracks and things going on with Mills and other artists like Jack Boy and Verb, but you would have had to give Mills credit, and you didn't want to do that, so you didn't recap those kind of things. All of these things, it just changed if you look at probably your average of YouTube money from like October, November versus what it was after the battle, I bet it was drastically lower. You wasn't blogging. So to chalk it up, it's just like, well, what did he do to me? He didn't do nothing. He didn't do nothing. I don't even get on camera, dog, and say that ADEP, Battle Truth, and DM Me Detroit. I just told y'all yesterday in a blog, it got annoying. It got annoying because they started going too far. You know what I'm saying? I never even told this story. My mom hit me up one day with a random text. Some nigga then looked up my mom's phone number and texted her like, oh yeah, your son is gonna get it. Da 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 da. My mom just sent it to me like, who is this? I'm like, I don't know. reverse, look up the number, some up north number. This what was going on at the height of what was going on with me. To say that didn't bother me, that she's hitting me up when I'm like in another part of Atlanta at my crib, and she like, oh, someone just text me that, and it's just like, that's kind of stuff is stuff I don't even want her involved in. So to act like it don't bother me would just be fraudulent for me to sit up there and be like, yo, I wasn't tired of 50,000 blogs over the course of 2 years. Yeah, it gets annoying. I wasn't tired of them going on Angry Fan Radio, DM me or whatever, and talking trash or whatever, or with caps or whatever. I would be, even though I managed to move on, even though I prospered during that situation, to act like it was just, oh, it was just nothing. I'm just Chris unbiased. Them fucking blogs can't do nothing to me. Yeah, they not gonna stop me. People still gonna support me. But at the same time, I gotta constantly defend myself over the course of them first couple years. I gotta tell people over and over, I ain't going to trial. Like, stop listening to these niggas. That I had to do that a lot. So to sit there and be like, oh shit, it's just Battle Truth and A-Dub. Who cares that they did, 1,200 blogs in the last 400 days? It don't really matter to me. It don't matter that you type in Chris Unbiased and there's 1,000 bad negative blogs about me. Of course I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so to sit there and be like, oh yeah, it was just nothing. Who cares? Yeah, I was part of the algorithm, but I was making so much money, I didn't even really know niggas was talking about me. It's just not genuine, Goodz. And you better than that. I'm making this blog. It ain't not to grind you. I never grind you. I would never talk bad about Goodz in no disrespectful way. It's just, if you want people to understand your plight, sometimes you just gotta humanize yourself. To act like nothing, none of this was nothing, it's not humanizing yourself, and people don't relate to it. Let's continue.
Top at now. Even with the sneaker thing, he kind of like fake exposed like a lot. Yeah, I could pull out my phone, show how much I made since that for sneakers. Actually, you don't think it actually? No, actually helped. It spiked some sales. It went up for that time. The joint, yeah. I got them all right now. You talking these? Yeah. See, check those. That's what you're saying though. My sneaker. It's not the sneaker. It was like just like your brand. I never seen like.
It's that bravado that I don't like. Like, bro, the sneakers took a hit, bro. I don't really care nothing about no spikes, no nothing. It took a hit, bro. It took a hit. It just took a hit. Let's just keep it real. And you got on camera and you said that you didn't even like that Jay Mills tried to talk about your shoe or diss your shoe or do whatever. You felt like it was like trying to hurt your profit or your sales. So it took a hit, bro. I mean, it really did. Like, yeah, now that times has passed and everything like that, it might be a little bit better, but to say it didn't take a hit, I have to challenge that, bro. For real.
Like I said, big hit, boom, and then you kind of fell back, and I just felt like, I dropped the outside looking in. I dropped the record the same day. Yes, but it wasn't. I'm gonna be honest, it wasn't like, it was good, but it wasn't like, I think it wasn't, and then. So let me ask you something, let me ask you this. Yeah, talk to me. When you listen to his records. Yeah, his records, right? Yeah. What records do you like? That you like, this is fire. The one with the Goodz thing? With the record. Not what he did, not the show on the sneaker. No, did you like the record? The songs. Did you like the record, the last record? Because everybody was saying that was his weakest joint. I didn't listen to the Easy, when he talked about Easy or some shit. Was it like, I love the DNA shit. I like the DNA. That shit was hard. But keep going. So, okay, keep going. Did you like every record? Like the first 7 records that he put out. Would you DNA this like? So that's what I'm saying. So 5. So right. Yeah. Out of those 5, it was one record towards me, and that was the record I like, which is the Lights On, Lights Off. Okay. That was only. So you named the first 5. It was one record towards me. It was that one. Okay. I believe in that 5 that he dropped. So what's your point? I'm just seeing if you like the records, if you really like the records.
Man, everybody like the records, good. Like, come on, dog. The whole culture like the records. Turn the motherfucking lights off. Like, come on, everybody liked the records. You ask somebody, oh, did you really like the record? You saying that like niggas didn't like the records. The whole culture liked the records. Every single record, I haven't seen a nigga be like, yo, that J Mills track is trash. I haven't really seen a nigga say any of his tracks have been trash. Somebody might say, oh, it's about a 7. I haven't seen nobody give it lower than a 7 on no tracks. So to sit up there and be like, so did you like the record? So which ones you like? All of them. All the records was like 1 through every single person he's done a diss track on. I've liked the records. Like these are semantics, bro. Goodz, you better than this, bro. It's okay to just give a nigga some credit. I like the records. Turn the motherfucking lights off was fire. DNA ain't ever been outside was fire. It's cool to say that, bro. So what records you like? Which ones? Like, you like all of them? Like which ones? Like, come on, bro. These are semantics. And you better than this. You better than this.
So, you know,
it was good. Like the beats, like the energy, like it was.
Yeah.
It was fine. I never seen him do shit like that.
Yeah, Ron Browse. You know what I'm saying? And he was the joints with Browse know how to. Browse created. Browse. No.
I'm in the game for him.
Hold on. I'm not taking it away from him. I'm just telling you what happened. Yeah. Browse created.
Wayfair presents TV stands and coffee tables. Tune into media centers in every style.
Hold on, I'm not taking it away from him. I'm just telling you what happened. Yeah. Browse created a sound. Mm-hmm. Feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And now the sound was dope. He created a sound with the AI and all that shit. You get what I'm saying?
All right, this is another part I don't really like, Goodz, because you use Merrick City, he used Ron Browse. If Merrick City would have won you the quote-unquote diss track battle, you would have used the Ron Browse against them. And you would have been like, man, I had an up-and-coming producer, Merrick City. Niggas ain't even never heard of him. He battled a couple times and started doing beats, but niggas don't even know him. You had a multi-platinum producer and couldn't beat me. You had Ron Browse and you couldn't even beat me. So you would have used it against Mills if you had won with Merrick City. But when you don't win with Merrick City, you like, oh, so he had a multi-platinum producer. Like, you know, what am I supposed to do? He like put the beats together and do this. Bro, you're the money guy, bro. You can go get somebody that is different from Ron Browse, clearly, but on Ron Browse level, because you also can spend the money to pay for the producer. That's been your thing, is that you have the money that Mills don't got. Or most people don't got. So if Mills can go out and get a multi-platinum producer, that means you can too. It ain't like it's some, wealth gap between y'all where it's like, oh, I'm battling so-and-so and he's a millionaire and he went and hired, Manny Fresh and did all this and I'm just had to get an up-and-coming producer from Atlanta. You claim to be more on the money side, so you can go get that. And had you won with Merrick City, you would have used Ron Browse against him. Man, you let Merrick City beat you, you're up and coming, you're a platinum producer. That's what would have been the story. That's why the Ron Browse don't work, bro. We're just keeping it real.
It's AI, bro. AI. I thought the AI records was dope, but it's still AI. It's not original. I could go on the app right now and say, yo, make me a hook that say this.
Bro, you had an AI hook too, bro. You did. The what's the wolf to a lion? That was AI. Like, you had it too.
Okay. That's what it is. But as far as and I don't knock you for saying that, because other people probably felt like that too, but I feel like you probably felt like that because you going along with the rest of the people that don't like me is saying anyway. Any nigga, yo, listen.
No.
Yo, hold on.
No, I have a good relationship with you. I've been watching you and you like I said, even.
So what I'm saying to you is
top tier.
No, you're right. But you still ain't tell me what drop happened or what chink in my armor happened. It's hard for you to say it. I'm just waiting for you to tell me.
Like I said, it's just certain things what I see. Like, with the white, you're responding to him. Like I said, and I just felt like you felt bad. You felt bad on the podcast too. I thought that you and DNA was gonna stop too. I don't know. I felt like, but it didn't. Yeah.
But and then
it got even better though. Honestly, I ain't seen you with the thing.
So I'm trying to figure out where did I?
But that first month.
This is what I do to people because
am I bugging?
What happens is, hold on. What happens is this: people see stuff, and it's kind of easy. And I said it's kind of easy to go with what's going on. So if you see, like when we was kids, and we see everybody teasing this person, you might jump in on it and tease the person too, not even knowing why you teasing them.
Facts.
So that's why I'm not saying you entitled to your opinion. You know, I don't really care about none of this shit. I'm just trying to ask you, and you don't have no key points, or it's just like you kind of feel like that because of what they try to make it like. Yo, bro, I'm up. And I be modest a lot. I chill. I'm up, bro. We sitting in my store.
Yeah,
I'm good.
Yeah.
Nothing, what you saying is this now. You got to be smart about things. First of all, I wasn't even going to get into that at all because I looked at Mills like he was beneath me. Mills wasn't popping, like you said.
All right. So let me explain to you why you have what is perceived to be a chink in your armor. All right, so you do the thing with Mills, you and DNA lose to the culture, okay? You look really bad in it because you didn't really look like you put up much of a fight. At least DNA gave what I would consider to be better tracks, and the culture probably looks at the Letter to Jarvis and some of this stuff as better tracks. So then people looked at you as like, oh, okay, we ain't really feeling that. A lot of people felt like you couldn't ride a beat good. I don't feel that way, but I was looking, if you look at the comments, people was just like, yo, Goodz is not good on a beat. That's not a good look. You are hanging out with Wayne, bro, so I'm pretty sure he might be paying attention to what's going on, and this would be a good selling point. Like, yeah, I beat your mans. So all of this stuff is, and if you can't, in this interview you said, you know, I wasn't really doing music. Like, he was doing music. You're with Wayne, bro. What are you with Wayne for if you're not doing music? You're posting pictures with Wayne. Y'all not battling, so it must be music. So you don't get a chance to say I'm not in music mode and then post pictures with Wayne as if you're in the studio or you're hanging out, because people are going to think y'all doing music. So are you in music mode? Or are you not? Are you just ran into Wayne and did a picture? Are you hanging out with Wayne and doing stuff? So you don't get a chance to necessarily fall back on that because of that situation. So people are going to feel like the music thing. And if people don't like your diss tracks, it's harder to sell you on regular music. And I know you got good music because I got tapes and download a whole bunch of good shit. I'm definitely a fan of you on the track, but that was a thing that came out. I never seen anybody ever talk about you on a beat until you battled Mills. And you did a lot of freestyles that you just put on Instagram and put everybody fire emoji. This dope. First time I heard, man, it's trash. You can't ride a beat. It's just this. Now you getting that kind of hate. That's not a good look even in the comment section, because comments, unfortunately, can control narratives. You know what I'm saying? You had that. You didn't do the podcast for a while. I feel like the I Disagree podcast is kind of taking a dip. It seemed like it was about to be kind of lit. It doesn't seem lit like that no more, if I'm just being honest. Yeah, y'all doing shows, but I can't say they lit. I'm just being real. It looks like it's not as much consistency. DNA there than he ain't there. It's like y'all seem to have more continuity before. Okay, that's another thing. Other thing, now you don't want to battle. Optics matter. I can go, if this was an edited blog, I could go pull all your things. Man, I'm really getting itch to battle. I'm really thinking about coming back to battle rap. It's been a long time since I come back to battle rap. Thinking about battling Twerk. You know what I'm saying? League hit me up about Twerk. We were supposed to be on Summer Madness. We were supposed to be on a TBL card. Now you don't want to battle. Saying stuff, I don't know if I got it anymore. Even if that was like, kind of like I'm just playing. Bro, you said you don't know if you got it anymore. You only haven't battled in 2 years. You're used to taking at least a year off anyway. People that don't battle for a while, they never say they don't got it no more, bro. For you to even put that out there, like, man, salute to Tay-Rock, man. I don't even know if I can do it no more. You just wanted to battle Twerk a year ago. 365 days ago, less than that. You were just saying you could have got on the Summer Madness and TBL card less than a year ago, bro. Summer Madness was like August or something. This less than a year ago. You were just saying, thinking about taking twerk. 6, 8 months later, you don't know if you got it anymore. Where did this rhetoric come from, bro? It's bad optics. Just bad optics. If niggas was kicking my ass and niggas was killing me in blogs and I was doing it and the culture was turning, you know, I was just like, man, I'm getting so much money in trucking. I don't really think I feel like blogging no more. Bro, I ain't just retiring for no reason. I'm retiring because I don't feel like dealing with this shit. So I can't say it wasn't a chink in the armor. So, bro, that's why it is. And if none of that is what it is because it's fake or it's bad optics, perception can sometimes be reality. And I'm going to leave you on this note because you said I really wasn't going to battle Mills because Mills was beneath me. He wasn't popping. He might have not have been popping in battle rap. But sometimes I think you look at the beneath me thing as like from a money standpoint or whatever. Like I don't really know. And I just want you to always, don't matter how much money you got, it doesn't really mean that you're over anybody. Just because I make more money than, I can make more money than Vada, or Vada can make more money than me. It doesn't mean I'm really, anybody is beneath anybody. There's other characteristics of a person that still make them valuable or still live a good life. I can have a lot of money. I could be single. I could have a son that's, I'm sharing custody with a female and all this kind of stuff. And I'm doing good, but I'm single. Do what I want to do, but I'm 38 years old and I'm single and I got a 8-year-old son that lives with his mom and we share custody. There's another guy, but I might be, let's just say I make $600,000, $500,000 a year. There might be another guy that make $100,000 a year. He got a family, he got a wife, he got 2 kids, he raises family. He actually might be doing better than me because his kid live in the household and get a chance to raise them every day. I'm doing partial stuff, fighting with the mom, paying some child support, having a son on the weekends, a couple summers, not really in the kid's life enough. You are living what is supposed to be the American dream. We here on this world to reproduce and stuff, and you got a family, you got a wife, you're reproducing, you got someone to take your name, you're raising your family, you're teaching good morals, you got a successor. To some people, they're up. And they don't look at you as the guy that makes this amount of money as being up because they look at, I have an abundance of wealth. I got a wife, I got 2 loving kids, and I got my health, and I got a good job. To them, they're cool. Ain't no nigga over them. So this beneath me thing, why is Mills beneath you? Why is you beneath Mills? So I don't know. I wish you would have asked because I felt like you was probably going to say, now you did say you wasn't popping, I'll give you that. You wasn't popping in battle rap. I just hope the beneath thing wasn't because you got more shit going on money-wise than him. Like, yeah, I got a sneakers and I make more money in the battle and, you know, I got a couple businesses. We don't know what Mills do. And, you know, Mills is out in California and he got a girl and maybe, you know, they get married or whatever. To Mills, he may feel like he up. He may feel like he up. So people got different definitions of what up is. It's just not monetarily being up. It's more things that create a person and more characteristics that are important more than just who makes the most amount of money. So that's just my thoughts. Go watch the interview, man. Dope ass interview. I'll put the link in. It actually only has 5,600 views, so we gotta try to get the numbers up. But I don't know. I don't know, Goodz. I just wish. I don't want you to not battle because the culture turned on you. And you might feel like, man, when I step out on the stage, I gotta fight a bunch of shit. I gotta fight even, like now you gotta worry about whether or not niggas gonna fucking even fuck with your outfit. Your slick walk shit. Now, you never worry about that. Yeah, I'm on, you know, you could go on stage and talk shit. Yeah, I got my own sneaker. You could say that to anybody on stage. Talk about your sneaker now and motherfuckers might boo. You never know. You never know, bro. You never know, because the culture may look at like, oh, the sneaker shit was not no thorough shit. It's always a possibility. So when you don't want to battle no more, it does seem like Mills them kind of retired you in DNA. And you being a nigga that I fuck with, I don't really like that for you, bro. I wish you would battle at least one more time, somebody. And if it ain't Mills, let it be Kid Slade, Swamp, somebody else, Surf when he come home. You need another battle, bro, to just ride off into the sunset. That's just not what's up, man. It's just not, it ain't what's up for you or DNA, to be honest with you. Especially you, though. Well, really, especially you, because you ain't do what DNA do. You didn't really, DNA kind of, said he wasn't gonna battle no more and then came back. You never really took that hiatus of I'm not battling no more. You just did your normal break. So to know that you lost the J Mills diss track war and then all of a sudden you tweeting, I don't know if I can do this, it's like, come on. So just my thoughts. Holla at your boy.